that's not, we're still two same dudes.
Yeah.
And we're only watching it because we're taking notes for the podcast.
Yeah, but
there are dozens of us.
I really can't say enough how much I love the tension in this scene. Like from the time that Shane starts his speech all the way to the end, it's intense. It's extremely intense. And the thing with Herschel at the end, where let's talk about Shane first of all shooting the zombie, because that's freaking awesome. He's like, do you know anybody alive who can survive this?
Yeah.
He blows 3 holes in the gut of the zombie.
His enough speech was epic.
Yeah, yeah. And then he blows a hole in its lung and heart.
Right.
Not going to survive that. And then he's finally like, yeah, this is enough. Bam. And he takes it out. And Herschel is crushed. Mm-hmm. Absolutely devastated. And what was the problem people had with this? Because I thought it was fantastic.
Well, I thought
his
that
reaction.
He basically, he was shredding, he was destroying Herschel's faith second by second. First, like, look, okay, you're a doctor, you think these are sick people. I just unloaded half a clip in this person's heart, lungs, and body and vital cavities, and it didn't do anything to them.
Yeah.
And then he goes enough, and he shoots them, but like it was pretty. I think that more they had a problem later when he was kind of blue screened. Uh-huh. Like I think people wanted to see like a highlight of his, like a recognizably, like, when one of the zombies come out and Maggie go like, "No, Sean," or him like, "That's my wife," or like, but
I thought it played better without that.
Yeah, that he was just in his state, like when he sees this is his world going up in flames, because he's basically in denial about the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
His wife wasn't dead. She's chilling out there in the barn with her son-in-law, and any minute now the government's going to find a cure, and it might take days, weeks, months, maybe a year, but this is all going to work out, and everything's going to go back the way it was. And this is him having those scales ripped off of his eyes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the reaction one would have when that happens, in the manner
stunned
it does.
into silence. Yeah.
I don't think we needed, zombies pointed out that these were, because all of the zombies in the barn, most of them anyway, were significant to him. They were neighbors and
exactly.
friends.
He knew their names. All of them were important to him. But I think it played better without that, because then you've got Sophia at the end.
Right.
And you don't need 2 of those moments.
And honestly, this was, I think, basically all the survivors then suddenly had the Herschel reaction where they're just like, shit, we can't do this.
Yeah,
because suddenly it's one of theirs. Mm-hmm. It's all fun and games when you're pegging walkers until it's one of your own. Yeah,
that's good. That's the last scene was masterful. Writing, masterful acting. Everything
capable
came
direction,
together.
and there's I was going to mention this if someone didn't, but I'm going to have let the listener take the spotlight. This was actually directed by a Breaking Bad vet.
Yeah, I saw that email.
So
it's pretty cool. The other thing that I thought was awesome in this scene is Shane knew how to play this. He played this very smart, because he goes running up, shoots the one zombie, doesn't shoot the one in Rick's hand, and then goes for the barn door. I think he did that on purpose, because what is Rick going to do? Rick can't let go of the thing.
He could. I think...
No, he can't let go of it. Then there's a walker loose trying to eat people.
All right, so here's the deal. I think Rick kind of blue screened himself, because if I'm Rick, Herschel basically said, "I don't know this man. I don't recognize this guy that I'm corralling. I've got a sidearm." Mm-hmm. Shane's going for that barn to kill Herschel's family. Mm-hmm. If I was Rick, I would think I would have the wherewithal to put the bullet in the zombie's head, which is kind of amazing. None of the survivors came forward, because I would think...
Did Rick even have a gun?
Well, he shot Sophia, did he not?
Oh, yeah, he did.
So, like, why wouldn't he plug that walker and then confront Shane? And then why wouldn't anyone come forward to help him? Except for, it seemed like everyone save Lori and Carl and Dale were on fucking Team Rick or Team Shane. Why do you think that Dale didn't like come forward? Because Shane's like, Herschel, take this fucking stick, and he probably didn't say fucking. This is this is AMC after all.
Well, I don't think Dale was going to do anything. Like I said earlier, Shane knows Dale's not going to step up.
He's kid's table.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people had problems with that. I didn't, because who was going to do it? Everybody else was supporting. Everybody else honestly wanted Shane to win this argument. Other than Lori and Carl, what the hell are they going to do?
Nothing.
Carl's going to say, "This is bullshit, man."
This is bullshit. Gun Shane down. That'd be nice.
So the review, we were spoiled as shit. I didn't think it was any less powerful.
Yeah, for the people who stuck around or didn't stick around last week, we talked about this screenshot where Sophia comes out of the barn. Mm-hmm. So we were super spoiled, and I still loved every second of it.
Yep. I knew it was coming, but it still had a lot of power for me.
Speaking of Sophia, let's talk a little bit about Sophia's storyline and Rick's involvement in it, because at the end, the person who has to put Sophia down is Rick.
Right.
And I think that this moment kind of represents a fundamental shift in his character.
Nah, I don't buy it.
I think it does, because I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll save that stuff for the spoiler section. But I really do think that Rick is coming out of this a different person. Herschel's coming out of it a different person. They're having their Shane moments that Shane had 2 episodes ago with Otis, or 3 episodes.
I don't know. Maybe. I also think that this was Rick. Shane says he doesn't have what it takes, but fucking Rick made it from Kentucky to Atlanta alone. Mm-hmm. And yes, Rick has got an altruistic streak, but he also can get shit done when it needs to be done. And this was his. Now my question is this going to be strong enough for him to retain his? Is he going to be able to keep a hold of the conch? Is he going to be able to keep? Is he going to be the leader still moving forward?
I think that was kind of the point of him shooting Sophia, is that even Shane there stopped, couldn't do what needed to be done.
I think Shane could. I think Shane would have eventually.
Well, but he was stupefied at the moment.
Yeah, he was.
Just like everyone else.
Right.
He didn't step up. Rick did. And I think that in everybody's eyes is going to make him, reestablish him as the leader. Mm-hmm. So I think he gained some cred off of that.
Also, as much as I hate Carol, I thought when she ran forward to
grab Sophia.
That was just, like I said, as a parent, that is sickening.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Ugh, I just want to move on.
All right, well, there's nothing to move on to. That's the
feedback.
That's it. Yeah, let's
we'll have
feedback.
Okay, so before we get the feedback, let's have a fight, you and I.
All right.
We're old friends. We can do this.
Sure.
I almost think the writers were kind of brilliant in the way they set this up, because if Sophia had been found 4 episodes ago, would it had this kind of power, and would it have driven the group to the brink of self-destruction? It was annoying for us as a viewer, but how, if we'd have compressed it a little bit, would it still had the power? I kind of suspect you could do that, but I mean, my first reaction is all is forgiven. I've kind of came off of that a little bit in the last 24 hours. I'm like, nah, there's still some bullshit in here this here season that could have been trimmed.
Yeah, and here's what I think as I think back through the season. Yes, this was a very, very powerful payoff for that Sophia storyline, which we thought was floundering and going nowhere. Mm-hmm. Extremely good payoff. But while we were watching the first 2 episodes of Sophia being lost, we were thinking, this is bullshit. I don't like any of this. We were not enjoying our time watching the show.
Right.
And that's kind of ultimately what it comes down to, right?
Right.
Whether or not the payoff is incredible at the end, I think they could have done without a couple of the Sophia episode plot lines.
Mm-hmm. Or they could have put some more stuff into it. Like Sepinwall said in his review today, it's like, I get it that they've, I think the thought was that, we'll spend time in the farm to kind of decompress and get to know these characters better, but we didn't.
Mm-hmm. No, they went in circles.
We did not learn anything new about anyone except for
the new people, Herschel and Maggie,
and their relationship to the new people. But and maybe Daryl. I guess we got a little bit of depth to him. But basically, Rick and Lori had the same fucking argument 3 times. Shane and Rick had the same fucking argument 2 or 3 times. Daryl and Andrew had the same argument 3 times now. It is not very economical writing. And just because, now, I guess what my thought is we know that right now, about this part in the season, the last 2 episodes is where the creative team kind of hit the fan with AMC letting Darabont go and the change of power, and probably a lot of this stuff was edited more by the new creative team, and its direction was set. Do you think this is a harbinger of good things to come?
Honestly, I have no idea. In my mind, AMC has totally messed up the production of this thing. Like, somehow, by some miracle, they are pulling it off.
Yeah,
it's still
by
a good
the skin
show.
of their teeth.
But
judging by the internet reaction, which is whatever.
Yeah, but what the problem I have is, what are they doing with an irregular writing staff? What are they doing hiring one-offs to write episodes? I feel like
they're treating this like it's Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Exactly. I feel like a guy came in and said, well, I'm going to send Sophia into the woods. What's the next guy going to do with that?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'll just sit it here and leave it.
I think
there's no investment from the writers.
I think that's the way Darabont wanted it done, and that's one of the reasons they shit-canned him.
Good. In that case, then.
Right.
Because that is not a way to run a show.
I kind of feel the strong way that he's like, this is going to work, and, we've got me and Kirkman are going to guide this through and shepherd it through, but we don't need a regular team of writers and all that kind of stuff. And, man, I hope they go more towards a Breaking Bad Mad Men model.
Yeah,
because you need that consistency to pull this off.
Otherwise, it feels disjointed, and you get characters going around in circles like we did, and
right.
It just seems to make sense to have a cohesive writing team.
Now, do you think there's the other reason I think that the writers might be evil geniuses is the fact that they had some of these characters be such dumbasses played completely into their hands to set up this survivors versus not survivors versus the people on the sidelines that need to choose.
Yeah,
like by my count, and I mentioned this here's the way I got it scored. Survivors, Shane definitely. Andrea maybe. That's definitely the way she's shaping up to be.
Yeah.
And Daryl. Okay, those are the people that are going to survive no matter what.
Sure.
They might be different shades of gray or different good or bad, but they're going to survive. Maybes are like Rick, Glenn, Maggie. Who else?
That's it.
And
Carl's
definitely a maybe, maybe. And then the ones that are not survivors, Dale, Carol, Lori, Herschel.
Yeah.
So it's like I almost think that they did this as we're sitting there raving at these characters. The writers are chuckling, saying like, "Oh, we're setting you up for Shane, man." Because you're hating Shane now, and you can't believe he did this Otis, and then 4 episodes later, you're going to be cheering him.
Yeah.
I kind of think that that's a little brilliant how they did that.
And it plays kind of both sides of the fence. It gets the audience to pick sides, Like, I believe in what Rick is doing. He's making the morally correct decisions, whereas Shane is making the survivor correct decisions,
right.
So, I got to give him more credit than I did 2 episodes ago, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a hard time believing they had this all thought out and decided this is what we're going to do this season.
No, but that's why it didn't hang together more than it did. But I do think they had this. I think they have it planned out as far as thematically, which is why that's the only reason this episode could pay off. Same kind of reason why George Lucas kind of got away with the Revenge of the Sith, because thematically I think he had all that stuff laid out in his head. Didn't make a lick of sense, but a lot of people for some reason we liked the last one a lot better. Well, it's because the themes that he'd been played actually paid off, even if the plot didn't come together. And I think this is...
And because the first 2 were huge turds.
Well, see, the parallels with Walking Dead is I think on the whiteboard they had themes like survivors versus not, and humanity versus savagery, and all that kind of stuff that the writers, that was their Bible. And this stuff, even though individually and as parts it didn't pay off, but as a sum of the whole it did.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Before we get into feedback, are we doing? A lot of people are expecting us to do a season recap.
I think we just did it, honestly.
Well, my thing is I think we'll definitely have one.
We will.
It's just I don't know how long it'll be, because there's things I want to talk about moving forward. Maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then whatever the fine people who listen to this cast want to send us.
Yeah, send us your thoughts on the season overall,
Yeah. And what you're looking for. This is, obviously the half season, whatever.
Yeah, I'm calling it a season because it's a season.
Next season's season 2.5.
If Breaking Bad's first season was 6 episodes,
it's
I'm
almost like them
season.
saying, "Oh, we ordered 13 more. This is still season 1." Bullshit.
Yeah, get out of here.
So anyway, if you want to talk about the next season or next half season, whatever, send us an email at watchingdead@baldmove.com. But let's get to the feedback for the people that have already taken advantage of that.
Great.
I'm kind of worried. I think we might have lost Daniel WB.
Uh-oh. To a walker?
Maybe. I mean, he dropped. I mean, we are recording a day early because of our schedules here, but he was broken down into sentence fragments last week. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he might have made it to the payoff.
Maybe not.
The show broke him down.
If you're out there, send us your thoughts on this one next week. Or
we're talking into our walkie-talkie, Daniel. Daniel, if you hear this, we're taping shit to a car's windshield.
We're leaving you cans of food and water.
There's some Gatorade and beef jerky and a breadcrumb trail going to Herschel's farm. I hope you find it. I don't understand how walkie-talkies work. All right. The survivors that did make it to the end with us, Dave Dubb. He says, this is actually feedback for last week's episode. We got a couple to go through with that. He says, yes, the morning after pill right-wing Christian disinformation campaign was disappointing, but not at all surprising for TV show. I kind of think it is because Hollywood has a reputation for being liberal, not conservative. But
sure, yeah.
This, I think, kind of highlights how misunderstood this whole subject is. So granted, it's probably accurate writing to have a religious girl whose daddy thinks AIDS is God's way of working shit out to refer to morning after pills as abortion pills, but it would have been nice to have someone throw out a counter. Yeah. That's a pretty good take on it.
Yeah. Maybe it's genius writers, like we're saying.
I still think they had a higher civic duty than to write an accurate, portrayal of a conservative religious person, but whatever.
Yeah.
Seemed like they cut a scene explaining how, why, what they were doing, looking for a little girl in the suburbs. On the plus side, though, if Sophia does actually turn up somehow, surviving 3 or 4 days on her own, she can teach all the other dumbasses how to actually survive during the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
I know it didn't turn out that way. My policy is usually to edit out stuff that they got wrong, but that was a good line.
Okay.
Which reminds me, why the hell haven't they just dug a big trench around the farm, or the house at least? From everything we've seen, a decent-sized trench would save you from all but the biggest horde attack.
Oh, man, I got in a huge argument with a trench digger on Reddit.
Okay.
The dude,
because you're a fucking Dan Brooks apologist. Like, you worship him.
Max Brooks.
Max Brooks.
The second time you've
Dan Brooks is the guy that was the voice of Finding Nemo. He's the same guy that wrote the zombie books.
Yeah, Max Brooks is what's his face Brooks' son, the movie guy.
Albert?
No, not Albert. Anyway,
babbling.
Digging a trench is hard. How are you going to dig a moat around that house?
Well, it's not going to fucking dig itself. You start it one day at a time.
I got you, but how long is it going to take? How hard are you going to have to work? Who's going to dig it while they're looking for Sophia?
Stop looking. Number one, stop looking for Sophia.
I'll get behind that.
And the thing is, what else are you here? Let me finish the guy's thing.
Well, they've been doing other things
because he actually he was prescient. He actually anticipates your objection. He says, yes, it would be more work than say reading shitty books, cleaning the RV, wallowing in self pity, being a bad lookout, not looking for your daughter, or shooting your friends in the head. Also, there's probably even at least one tractor they could use to help if they can spare the gas from hot, steamy showers, post-homicidal head shaving, and 7-course family-style dinners. That's the thing. Okay, maybe digging a trench is hard, but wouldn't you do that or some other kind of defense rather than the other bullshit they're doing? What would you recommend?
I would recommend that they stop searching for Sophia.
Okay.
Which apparently they can now.
But if a trench is a bad idea, what's a good idea?
Everyone is doing things, right? Like they need one person to stay on lookout. Glenn's making runs to the pharmacy, whatever. What's Shane doing? Shane's out there
teaching Andrew how to shoot.
Teaching people how to shoot, which is important. Rick is out looking for Sophia. Daryl's out looking for Sophia. They're all kind of
I don't know why you're a trench hater, honestly.
Because a trench is hard to dig. If you need to dig a trench that a human can't get out of,
A zombie.
A zombie can't get out of, sure. Or a horde of zombies can't get out of, that they can't stack up on each other and get out of it.
Well, but he even said it's all but and we're not dealing with hordes so far.
Sure,
I mean,
definitely.
Any of the largest, other than maybe the highway zombies, I think a 6 foot deep, 6 foot wide trench would stop them.
6 foot deep, 6 foot wide?
Yeah.
In what radius around this house? It's going to be a huge trench. That's hundreds of yards of.
I think you overestimate
6 foot by 6 foot
how
digging.
much physical labor 10 people can do a day.
But there aren't 10 people doing the labor. Who's going to do it? Carl?
Carl
going to dig
ditch,
with his plastic sandcastle shovel? I know. I'm being a little facetious here, but
we need to move on.
We need to move on. Yeah.
So I think
okay,
we've had our
trench.
count pointer pound. Just fuck it. We're moving on. Shane from Atlanta.
Yeah.
We're not going to make comments about him being the real Shane at this point, are we?
Oh, every episode.
Okay, fine. We're amazed that you are continuing to send your dispatches from zombie-ravaged Atlanta.
Yep.
Said 2 additional thoughts on secrets. One, to paraphrase Sepinwall, contrived plot machinations destroy good storytelling. And The Walking Dead is loaded with contrivances. If you can somehow learn to overlook them, the show is a lot more enjoyable. Here's a great quote on this subject from a Sepinwall review of Sons of Anarchy from 3 weeks ago. He says, Sepinwall, Roger Ebert likes to talk about the idiot plot, where the story only works if every character is an idiot. And there are times this season where it's felt like the antagonist's plans only keep working because the relative good guys are being idiots. Sounds like he's talking about The Walking Dead, doesn't it? It's hard to argue. My counter argument is that the writer's intent?
Possibly.
The trick to good plots is that they have to be organic and not feel contrived. The more ridiculous the contrivance, as in Laurie's morning pill decision, the less believable the story becomes. Hopefully in the second half of the season, they'll do a better job in the plotting. Agreed. 2, like everyone else, I thought the morning after pill scene was grossly irresponsible, but my immediate reaction was, when did Laurie become retarded? I know we don't have academic transcripts on these characters, but this is seriously idiotic. Surveys have shown the majority of respondents are either misinformed or unaware of the differences between the abortion pill and the morning after pill. If this is true, that this misperception is indeed so common, couldn't the show have used this scene to debunk that perception? Agreed.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if they want like socially responsible storytelling, why not?
Fletch says, we are missing the boat on a few key insights on characters. Rick, he's the quiet, brooding badass who represents the balance of humanity during its inevitable collapse, a reluctant gunfighter. You guys always fault his lack of leadership, but remember, he woke up from a coma to the zombie apocalypse and wandered out in search of his family. When you compare him to the rest of the band of would-be survivalists, he is a little late to the party and has to play catch-up on some things emotionally. Overall, he is one who everyone gripes to or presents an idea to or for a decision, and a decision ends up in his lap whether he wants it or not. I think many times he just wants to be with his family and survive and not be responsible for what amounts to be a short bus full of preschoolers. Yeah, but stop whining about it. Either be the leader or don't be the leader. Like, I see what you're saying, man, but I think that I don't like the constant whining of it. That's probably an accurate read for his character, but it's not fun for me to watch.
Okay.
Anything?
No, I'm good.
Shane is the selfish juvenile delinquent in an oversized, overloaded body. I suspect he might have emotionally induced Parkinson's based on his apparent standing seizures under stress. Shane's character represents the inner self-serving voice in all of us. Don't spend too much time at the hospital checking on your best bud in a coma. Have sex with his wife and take his place instead. When Laurie's dealing with Rick being back, all Shane talks about is how it's affecting him and how he feels, which is a valid criticism. When he gets drunk, he decides all he has to do to push Laurie into screwing him again because, hey, he knows she wants to. To Shane, Otis was just chum. Laurie, you guys talk about jumping on Shane pretty quickly. I suspect that Laurie has always been somewhat attracted to Shane's bare emotion in response to her frustration with Rick's cold distance. That's probably a good point because that's what her complaint about Rick was, right?
Sure. Yeah, we saw that in the flashback.
Right.
With Laurie and what's-her-face.
He continues to think that Shane has always had a secret thing for the woman Rick has. I think Laurie sensed it and it boosted her bruised ego and Shane's attention when Rick was alive, so all that he was needed was for Rick to die to remove the one barrier from screwing Shane. So she's basically saying, he's basically saying there's this roiling sexual tension that as soon as Rick was dead, then, it's not like they started from square one. They were like a square 29.
And we definitely see a little bit of that in the flashback where they show Atlanta being nuked, or not nuked, but napalmed.
Right.
So,
Andrea, she's easy. All the stupid things she does are done to prove that she can do anything the guys can do. Shooting Daryl was a logical thing for her to do in her head. She just wanted to prove to the men that she can handle her business all by herself. Everything she does is motivated by the desire to prove she can wear pants too, and no one can tell her what to do.
she just needs to keep what's in her head away from Daryl's head.
Yes,
Please.
yes. Carol, total doormat. Domestic violence has turned her into whip puppy. The only meaningful encounters she has are with group members who are sick or injured because it's the one time she feels more valuable than they are. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's her role that she thrives in, is the caretaker.
Yeah, and she seems to thrive in suffering almost.
Right.
She enjoys it.
She says she's concerned about Sophia because she loves her but can't make decisions to go for her on her own the same way that she would have let her old ex-man sneak into Sophia's room at night and pretend it was just for story time. Ouch.
Yeah.
But accurate.
Sure.
Daryl's a blend of Rick and Shane. I know you had criticisms of his poetry zen turn, but I think Daryl's just complex like that. He's finally stepping out of Merle's shadow, but conflicted by the bullshit Merle's fed him all his life. Dale is a lonely old man who has created his new family. Dale will make peace over anything to keep his children together. True?
Yeah, pretty accurate. Yeah.
Glenn has autism.
What? Come on. I like Glenn.
Or at least Asperger's.
Yeah, yeah.
Some thoughts on other characters. As for the ammunition, Shane grabbed a shitload when the zombie apocalypse came down in the first place. Is that true? Did they mention that on the show?
Shane grabbed a bunch of ammo?
Yeah.
Didn't they? I thought they mentioned that a lot of the police stuff was raided, but I don't think they said Shane did it.
Dale had some from his gun safe, which I don't, again, these might be points that, because we just watched the first season, but we had all that shit edited out.
Yeah, maybe.
Glenn has set in the town as bait on useless errands so many times, he probably has a stockpile worthy of a standoff with the ATF. He also wants to play this religion angle. He said, we missed a cue when Maggie got so upset with Lori over the quote-unquote pills. Mm-hmm. You think that Herschel, with his AIDS as the new flu diatribe, raised his daughter to be pro-choice? Maggie was pissed that she and Glenn not only risked their lives, but risked their lives for Lori's abortion pills.
Yeah.
That rings true to me, too.
Sure, definitely.
I still think the writers could have done a better job of addressing that, but whatever. Maybe it got edited out. On to the new stuff. This is all material talking about episode 207. Michael M. I like how they let Herschel learn and change and not be overly stubborn. That added an element of sophistication. Shane was using currency that he didn't really have. His criticisms of Rick, Lori even granting him an audience, didn't seem warranted. Well, I think that's true, and it's why he was so frustrated, because he wasn't getting any kind of traction.
Yeah, yeah.
I did not like Herschel talking or working the corralling the walkers. That seemed ridiculous. Glenn had the right philosophy, the overruling philosophy of the apocalypse. They're dangerous. Mm-hmm. And then Shane, just shut up and give me the guns. It's the only sound strategy. They did what they had to do regardless of hurt feelings or betrayal. I know you guys are ambivalent on Sophia, me too admittedly, but that final scene was heartbreaking. Wherever they go next, this episode was another strong one.
For sure. That Sophia thing was fantastic.
Mike from Illinois provided us our intro. He says, just when you think The Walking Dead can't get any dumber, it goes and totally redeems itself. Although he does say Shane's acting still stinks.
You stink. I like Shane's acting.
I kind of, maybe it's because he was in full-time chewing scenery mode.
Oh, yeah.
He went full Shatner on this one.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if that's good acting or bad acting, but it's interesting. Let's agree on that.
It was lively. Definitely was.
Tom, the former Volkswagen owner in West Virginia. A couple of thoughts on why the episode was good. I like how the listeners, especially in Walking Dead, have like picked up on our in-jokes and are embracing it.
Yeah. They're loving them.
A couple of thoughts on why this episode is good. Characters evolved or devolved. Among others, Shane has crossed over to cartoon villain. Do you agree with that?
No. I think he's crossed over to sane, rational person, honestly.
Well, maybe
making
not
the
sane,
hard choices,
but definitely
he made a pretty sane choice this time.
He's like an full-time objectivist. Like he's like read Atlas Shrugged and like, dude, this is truth. So a crossroad is reached, actions were taken, tensions escalated between characters, and walkers died. Those are all very good points. Monday morning quarterbacking time. This half-season-long Sophia story wasn't that bad. It ended up in being part of a bigger picture story. Had she been found as a walker an episode or two ago, and had the barn seed had happened without her, the product of those two would have not have been as great as the final scene last night. A little aggravating getting there, but worth it in the end. Well done, writers. Mm-hmm. He also lays odds on people surviving the end of season 2.5. I'm just going to give these to you rapid fire. You tell me whether you agree or disagree.
Okay.
Rick, 100%.
Agree.
Shane, 100%.
Agree.
Disagree.
Wow. Okay.
I'm saying 50% on that one.
Oh, it's higher.
Daryl, 100%.
Oh, yeah, 100.
It better fucking be.
Yeah.
Glenn, 100%.
Agree.
Agreed. Andrea, 100%.
95%.
Okay. Maggie, 100%.
Disagree.
I think whatever you put Glenn, you got to put Maggie, in my opinion.
No, I think it...
You don't think they're a matching set?
What's Glenn going to do next? He's going to lose Maggie, I think.
Carl, 100%. And this is
100%. Agree.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay. Lori will at least live long enough to pop out the big lobed kid, 100%.
Sure.
Man, is that going to cause some birthing problems?
It could, man. You get hooked on something.
It's going to come out head first.
Oh, rough.
When it gets to the lobe part, it's like the baby's going to crown and then never be able to come out further. Herschel will be alive when they leave the farm. Status unknown at the end of the season. That's a cop-out, damn it. Tom.
Yeah, is he going to live or is he going to die?
I think Herschel less than 50%.
I think he's dead.
Dead?
Gone.
All right.
Yep.
Maybe Shane will even kill him. I actually have a theory. I'm gonna kick this. I'm gonna kick some.
Right.
I'm gonna kick something to spoiler. T-Dog, 80%.
Dead.
100%. They got to keep the token.
Oh, really? The black guy?
That's the T in T-Dog.
He said he token dog. He said he was the token black guy. So
yeah.
Guess,
Dale,
okay.
51%.
Dead. I'm with you. Dead.
I'm gonna say either Dale or Herschel, but not both. Because I think,
they need the father figure.
Just speculation, no spoilers. Because I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think that Shane will kill one or the other.
Okay.
Carol, 40%.
Just because I want her dead.
Okay.
She's useless now.
Moving on, Noelle from Atlanta. We got another survivor. Hey guys, wow, what a release. With the stream of ejecting bullets penetrating the soft flesh of the barn walkers, I felt as though a season's worth of cock tease and gut-wrenching slow pacing finally climaxed to a rewarding end. I don't know about you, Jim, but I need to go take a cold shower. Noelle, you can't do this to us in the first paragraph.
Okay, sure.
Clearly this episode was the season's best. The writing finally came together. I need a moment. Okay.
You're cracking him up.
The writing finally came together. Pacing, awkward dialogue, and cloudy character motivations were a thing of the past, wiped clean almost entirely by Shane's brilliant monologue at the barn. Mm-hmm. Enough! With Shane's indomitable declaration of war, I finally understood what the writers were trying to do with the season. Develop the survivors who could face this cruel new world and who couldn't. It's evident that survivors are quick on their feet and know how to escape, but do the survivors know how to truly survive as human beings no longer on top of the food chain? So that's kind of like my thought. Like maybe the writers are secretly brilliant, right? Mm-hmm. There's still some unanswered questions I'd like to be addressed, chief among them. I'd like it to have the writers address Jenner's last whisper to Rick from season 1. Right?
Seriously? 7 episodes.
It's not fucking a pregnancy. If it turns out to be the well, they can't. There's no way they can make that happen.
They can't,
I'm hoping that the writers are holding on to this plot point as a trump card to be pulled out in the future. Yeah, what if they just drop it like Walt from season 2 of Lost?
Oh, boy. No, I won't be satisfied with that.
My prediction is that Jenner told Rick that human beings everywhere are all infected, even those who do not bear symptoms of zombification. So
I think he said, I love you. That's what I think. I think he just straight up confessed his love for Rick there.
He said, Lori's fingernails contain trace DNA of Shane.
Maybe.
I don't know. So she's basically saying, and these are mild spoilers. I don't know if they're spoilers, but in the comic book, this is true. Everyone carries the zombie virus. If you die, except for massive head trauma, you are a zombie. In the show, they have not established that yet. So that would be one way for that knowledge to get disseminated. But you'd think Rick would have dropped that knowledge by now.
You would think so, yeah. What if he told him that Lori had been with Shane.
How would he know? He didn't do a fucking DNA sample of the fetus.
No, definitely
Pay no
not.
attention to the long needle going into your belly.
No, I don't remember exactly. Didn't he, like, scan her, or what happened?
I thought he just did a blood test.
Did he?
Said
Okay,
you all
never
have to
mind
submit to a blood test.
I thought for some reason, I thought he did a full body scan or something like that.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe not.
We'll have to watch the fucking thing again.
Yeah. Ugh.
She says, a word of caution. If this final episode is any indication of the writing direction we're moving towards in the later part of the season, I have very high hopes that we'll get an amazing season 2.5. However, the trauma and heartache suffered when AMC put us through season 1 of The Killing is still quite fresh in my mind. I watch anything on AMC with an extra layer of caution now, fearful of cruel cliffhangers after a season's worth of rewarding plot development. Boy, I tell you what, we were this close to doing a podcast on The Killing, and I feel like we dodged a fucking bullet.
Yeah.
Because although it would have been entertaining, the fans' outrage to cover that on a week-by-week basis, and then after
Can you imagine the iTunes reviews we would have gotten? Why do you do a podcast on a show you hate?
Well, no, but I don't think that's true. I think people liked it until the very end and progressively got worse and worse and worse until the climax was like insult to injury. If you like, we're going to move on because if you aren't even familiar with The Killing, then you have no idea what we're talking about. But
yeah, and
I
we're
hear
running long in the episode.
She says, "P.S. I watched Silent Hill for the first time this weekend and was blown away by Laurie Holden, aka Andrea, and her portrayal of Sybil the deputy. As my boyfriend can attest, I have a full-blown girl crush on Laurie Holden and have renewed expectations for what she can do in the Andrea role." Okay, haven't seen it.
Cool. I saw it a long time ago. Didn't even know who she was at the time. So that's
all
cool.
right. Brian H., who's now styling himself as a plane Nazi after our scuffle on Facebook last week.
Oh, did you have one?
Yeah, I remember.
I
he called me out on this wasn't two 737s crashing.
Oh, yeah, it was a chartered plane. Yeah. Gotcha.
He loved the episode after pretty much despising last week's. He really thought this is the best episode so far visually, and all the shots were framed perfectly, and the blocking seemed consistent with the quality of a show like Breaking Bad. Oh, wait, that's because Breaking Bad's Michelle MacLaren directed this episode.
Nice.
She also did, I don't know all the episodes, but she did the 1 minute episode where Hank got the, I don't want to do any spoilers.
Yeah, don't do spoilers for a different show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's that phenomenal pacing in that one, too.
Definitely, yeah.
I don't want to get in. Wait a second. She said also that I thought the actor who portrayed Herschel nailed the "oh shit, my family and friends are getting blown away right in front of my face. Maybe this Walking Dead thing's is an AIDS 2.0 look."
Yeah.
He says he doesn't want to get into too much speculation before next week's wrap up cast, but he can't see them staying on Herschel's farm for more than one more episode.
Yeah, things have got to go down next time.
Mm-hmm.
One way or another.
Matt from our own hometown of Naptown says,
"Cool."
He wanted to, as a fan of our Breaking Good podcast, he wanted to take a moment to compare things that may have gone unnoticed. He says Shane's attempted rape of Lori is god awful, and I do not condone it under any circumstances. But Walter White attempts the same rough sexual marital rape to his wife Skylar.
Spoiler.
Both deplorable, and I feel Shane was similar to Walter White trying to establish his dominance over his woman. Fair point. I don't think, and I never cast it on that season of Breaking Bad. I'm going to get around to it, but that's, I guess AMC's not afraid to go to the old to the rape well.
Yeah, Glenn almost got introduced to that too.
Dale is the new eyebrows man. How can this have gone unnoticed? No, come on.
To be fair, he has some bushy eyebrows.
Yes, but his eyebrows would have to be 4 times wider before he could be fairly called eyebrow man.
You're right, and his hair would have to be.
That's an insult to eyebrow man.
The hair in his eyebrows would have to be much darker too.
He'd have to wipe those things down too.
He'd have to dye them black. Yeah.
Let's see. Let me, if there's anything else, because I know we're running out of time. She goes, I know there's some fans that felt cheated by Sophia being in the barn. However, everything in the last scene that needed to be said was shown to us. Mm-hmm. Great television. I mean, really great television conveys complex ideas through imagery and not just by characters explaining what's going on. Agreed.
She
hits
the nail on the head.
They didn't need any dialogue. We didn't need people to talk to think about this whole thing. Mm-hmm. They just showed it to us through acting and direction. Perfect. James from Chicago said, my only problem with the otherwise awesome episode is the fact that Shane takes out an entire barn of walkers to make the farm safe. Yet by having him and half the rest of the camp just open up on the walkers, they must have made enough noise for walkers to hear them from Atlanta. Yeah, but
I think it's a risk versus reward thing there.
Because you open up the barn. I don't know that there's too many walkers to take them all out melee style. So it's like I
think there are too many.
Yeah.
So you have to eliminate the threat, the immediate threat, which is the barn full of walkers 100 feet from where you're camping and sleeping. And you take the risk with it.
Yeah. 3 more to go, and they're all kind of short. Superficial from the website says, first of all, I'd rather shoot myself in the foot than watch Daryl and Carol share a romantic relationship. She is far too meek and obedient, and having her end up with Daryl would likely only compare him to Ed. And being compared to Ed isn't good for anyone's reputation. I'm glad Glenn finally gave a reason for acquiescing like a complete tool when everyone wanted to put him down the well. Sure, it wasn't the best reason, but Portal reference equals win. What did you think about that?
The Portal reference?
I thought I was playing Portal.
Okay. It seems like Glenn might play Portal. He's a bit of a nerd.
But you really thought that going down a well with a fucking walker was just like a video game? That to me...
No, that to me sounded like writers who didn't understand
Yeah, like these are old
video
farts
games.
that are like buying into the video games equal reality. Like, you know, you play... whatever. I'm moving on before I get pissed. We already addressed about Herschel telling the group about Sophia. The Darkest of Passengers from Norway says he really liked the episode. He really liked the way they closed the Sophia chapter. He loved it when Shane lost his shit and started breaking into the barn. Wonder what happens in Herschel's head right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting to see next half of the season.
He also loved the literally Walking Dead scene with Rick. That they were walking the dead like
with leashes.
Yeah,
almost.
I thought that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
I didn't get it on the first viewing, but after The Dark Passenger brought it to my attention, seems obvious. Is great seeing more zombies. Shane's becoming more out of control, maybe a danger to the group now. He thinks, anyway. So, moving one last one. RP from Sin City. Thought it was a strong episode from beginning to end. It built momentum and has a plot moving forward. The demarcation between the two camps, Team Rick and Team Shane, is interesting and one aspect of the show must wrestle with in order for it to stay interesting. He said the showdown between Dale and Shane worked very well. The fact that both men acknowledge who they are and accept it, quote unquote, accept it, was fascinating. Their widely different views on what it means to maintain one's humanity represents the most interesting aspect of the show, and I hope it develops more. Me too. That's kind of why I hope Dale doesn't die.
Yeah, because he's the guy who's...
This is kind of setting up like Lost between Jack and Locke.
Okay.
You know, man of faith, man of reason.
Sure.
We got man of animal instinct versus man of humanity.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you need kind of a duality in the show, otherwise it's boring.
Right. So the final scene displays storytelling at its best, which we've already talked about. And then he's a Lions fan. He gives us a dig on our hapless Colts. So I don't know.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, you're not a sport ball fan.
Nah,
I am.
really.
It does suck. I hope we get Andrew Luck. And what the hell? Why? I was geared up for an awesome Thanksgiving game for once with the goddamn Lions, and you guys shit the bed. That did not go over well.
Bed.
That did not go over well with the turkey on Thanksgiving. That's all I've got. Should I kick it to outro?
Yeah, let's go ahead and tell them where they can find us.
If you want to find our original content, our reviews, episodes, and all our podcasts, you can find them at baldmove.com. Please send us your feedback at thewatchingdead at baldmove.com for our mid-season wrap-up.
Yeah, whatever.
Season 2.1 wrap-up. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/baldmove and follow Jim on Twitter at baldmove.
And if you guys want to follow my kind of personal Twitter,
Jesus, no.
I'm at JonesCaster.
Oh god.
So,
okay, that's not your real personal. I was gonna say that's the mouth of fucking madness.
That's my
man.
public personal account.
That's our we get drunk and post crazy shit account.
Yeah, you don't want the other one.
Yeah. Please support us leaving 5-star reviews on iTunes and subscribing, because that helps us get more listeners and more feedback.
Definitely.
You can also help us keep our lights on, our disc spinning, and our bits flowing through the internets by using our Amazon affiliate link at amazon.baldmove.com. And that's all I got. So spoilers.
Actually, if you guys are looking for Walking Dead Christmas gifts, maybe
they've got those fucking super sweet Todd McFarlane action figures.
Yes, those which I don't know if those are available on Amazon. They might be.
They are. Series 1
cool.
is out, and they've got like 2 from the comics and then 2 from the show, like including Rick. But the one that I really want, Daryl's not coming out till January.
Yeah. They showed it. They teased it on
It's
The
fucking
Talking Dead.
sweet.
They had Norman Reedus on, and they had he has got crossbow. They showed him the action figure.
And he's got the squirrels on his belt.
Yep.
It's totally sweet. I gotta have that on my computer.
Yeah, so if you know people who really like The Walking Dead and you're looking for Christmas gifts, go check out those figures. Also, there's The Walking Dead Chronicles, which is kind of an official companion book for the series. It talks about like the making of season 1, and it has like side-by-side shots of the comic book and the series. And if you're looking for cool gifts, that's another one. I think that's all I've got there. I'm not going to do too much gift-giving stuff.
All right, let's get to spoilers.
All right, let's do it. As always, until next time, I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron. See ya.
AMC's The Walking Dead continues with new episodes this February.
Where's Herschel? Can't find him anywhere. I'm going after him. They're about to get us all killed.
Then we have to stop that.
He's dangerous.
Now, what are you saying?
What do you do to keep this camp safe, huh? What do you do? Don't you tell me about getting my hands dirty. Back off! No one else gets hurt. It's not going to end well.
There is no hope for any of us. The Walking Dead returns this February. A special look at the next new episode.
Man, that was fucking sweet, I gotta say.
That shot of that zombie?
Pushing his face through that glass.
Whoa.
So, there's a lot.
Where's Herschel?
It looked like he went to a bar. I'm serious. I think he went to the town bar and was like, fuck
Herschel's
it.
just going drinking.
Yeah, I mean, that's a kind of a rational response. Now, what do you think about Shane taking on Daryl? That's like a Clash of the Titans, man.
I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see that.
And they're showing his string of ears and like Carol stumbling across.
Oh, imagine if he adds those lobes to it. Oh, man. He wouldn't even be able to wear that around his neck. It'd weigh him down.
Yeah.
You'd have to take it off to run away from zombies.
It does look like maybe the second half of next year or next season is going to be pretty action-packed.
At least what they're showing us. You know, they're not going to show us the boring parts.
True.
So
okay.
maybe that's every action scene from the final half of the scene.
Anything else to talk about? Because I've got a couple of brief spoilers to mention. What do you think about the fact that Sophia is still around in the comics and actually is a major influence on Carl?
Well, I think I'm okay.
They've so changed Carl's arc already.
Yeah, they definitely have. I mean, in the book, by now, he had killed Shane.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference in his arc. But I think now the people who are going to be the biggest influence on him are Rick and Shane. And they're going to be kind of battling for
the
Carl's,
devil and the angel on his shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about Carl shooting Shane? Because if Shane thinks he can win Carl's loyalty, I think he's got another thing coming to him.
What do I think about who shooting what?
Like in the comic, Carl does shoot Shane because Shane is basically threatening to kill Rick, and Carl comes out of nowhere and says, "You can't hurt my daddy," and shoots him through the neck.
Yep.
What do you think that? Because I think the way I think this is going to go down is I think Shane's going to kill either Herschel or Dale. And judging from the preview, I think it's not going to sit too well with Shane that they're going off to look for fucking Herschel, which it seems like they are doing.
Yeah.
I think he's going to kill one of those two, and then when Rick has to confront him about it, it's going to get violent, and then maybe Carl kills Shane.
Maybe. I mean, they could definitely bring it back around to Carl killing Shane.
Don't you think that Shane has to kill a survivor at this point?
That's kind of the next move.
Yeah, I mean, because he's already killed the other survivor, like from the other camp.
Yeah, he's gone as far down the defiance path as he can without killing someone.
Acting against his own.
Yeah. And Herschel's a perfect candidate for that, right? Because he wants him off the farm. He's been resisting
Dale or
the whole
Herschel,
time.
honestly.
Again, I think he sees Dale as not a threat. So
No, but he might just snap.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, that's
So,
true. That's true.
Anyway, Brian H. says, speaking about Carl's development, I kicked this part of his feedback to spoilers. Says, I like how Carl's character from the comics starting to emerge more as he told Shane that his Sophia theory is bullshit. Take that, you psycho big-eared homewrecker. I really want to see Carl emerge as a badass in training like in a comic. Imagine if Daryl, the master of survival, took Carl under his wing in the next 6 episodes. That would be a really great story arc, and it could play up the dichotomy of Rick, Shane, and Daryl portraying comic book Rick. You're right, because I think that, this series is taking 3 characters to play 1 character in the comic book. They've split Rick's psyche into 3 different parts. We talked about this before, our theory. Do you want to talk about Carl being a badass? Because honestly, I haven't read that far in the comics to know where they're talking about. I mean,
I don't know that I have either.
Really?
To be honest. I'm not sure I remember anything up to the prison with him being a real badass, except for shooting Shane.
Well, I guess I've read some spoilers that said that Carl ends up shooting some kids that were survivors that were causing severe problems. They're like psychopaths.
I wonder if that's...
And
none of the
adults would do it. So Carl took it upon himself to murder them, basically.
I don't know that I've read that far. I haven't gotten past the prison.
Okay,
So-
well then, yeah, because I hear I think it's past that when they get to one of
Okay.
the other survivor complexes. So, but anyway.